Hare Krishna. Does anybody remember what's the connection to the story of Gajendra in the previous chapter? How it is connected? Anybody remembers? Okay, so yeah, go on.
Sorry, we're discussing about the Manundaras. So in the fourth Manundara, the Lord appeared as Hari, son of Harini and Harimetha, who
Excellent.
saved Gajendra.
So we were excellent. Nice connection. Nicely remembered. So in the fourth Manvantara, we are currently in the seventh Manvantara. Parikshit Maharaj asked to describe the pastime that occurred in the other Manvantaras in this day of Brahma. So when Shukadeva Goswami mentioned that in the fourth Manvantara, Lord appeared as Hari. Anybody remembers the name of fourth Manu? I think Uttama, if I'm not wrong, is Tamasa. Third Manu is Uttama, and fourth Manu is Tamasa. So Lord appeared as Hari, as a son of Harini and Harimedha, and he saved Gajendra. So when he heard, Parikshit Maharaj heard, and he wanted to hear how Lord Hari, saved Gajendra from the clutches of crocodile. That was the question put forward by our Parikshit Maharaj, and Shukadeva Goswami was ready to answer in detail how Gajendra was saved by Lord Hari. So yeah, sometimes I wonder, he was, he's ready to answer, any query. No, only, when we give lectures, we can only speak the prepared content. If something else comes, we'll go, mad. But here, Parikshit Maharaj was asking simply when he was describing something, he just asked. And Shukadeva Goswami was ready to answer it. So this chapter 2 is a simple chapter. It's only, there are around 33 verses. It's entitled The Elephant Gajendra's Crisis. So if you are in a position to read today, please raise your hand. Then I can ask you accordingly. Otherwise, I'm happy to explain as well. Not a problem. Okay, Arya. Excellent. Let's read a little bit first, and then we will talk. And Kiran Kohli Mataji also, thank you. Okay, Arya. The first 4 verses. So it describes the beauty of Trikuta mountain. So please go and read the first 4 verses.
Shukadeva Goswami said, "My dear king, there is a very large mountain called Trikuta. It is 10,000 yojanas, 80,000 miles high. Being surrounded by the ocean of milk, it is very beautifully situated. The length and breadth of the mountain are of the same measurement, 80,000 miles. Its 3 principal peaks, which are made of iron, silver, and gold, beautify all directions and the sky. The mountain also has other peaks, which are full of jewels and minerals, and are decorated with nice trees, creepers, and shrubs. The sounds of the waterfalls on the mountain create a pleasing vibration. In this way, the mountain stands, increasing the beauty of all directions. The ground at the foot of the mountain is always washed by waves of milk that produce emeralds all around in the 8 directions, north, south, east, west, and the directions midway between them."
Thank you. So why is Shukadeva Goswami talking about the beauty of Trikuta mountain. Does anybody want to say why is he talking? What is the connection between Gajendra and Trikuta mountain? So the pastime actually occurred on Trikuta mountain, this pastime. And this Trikuta, three means three, Kuta is peaks. Three main peaks. There were three main peaks, silver, iron, silver, gold. One peak is made up of iron, another peak is made up of silver, another one is gold. Three main peaks. There were also other peaks on this mountain known as Trikuta, and other peaks contained jewels, so many minerals, jewels, nice trees, creepers, shrubs, and waterfalls, etc. So these waterfalls were creating very pleasing vibration, and this the breadth, length, and width of this mountain is 10,000 yojanas, which is 80,000 miles. So 80,000 miles the length. So from here to say Hyderabad is around 4,000 miles. You go and come back, it's 8,000 miles. Yeah, 80 means 10 times. You have to go and come back to Hyderabad. So that's the length and breadth and width of this Trikuta mountain. And it is this mountain was surrounded by milk ocean. So it is actually this pastime happened on Bhaumasvarga. There are heavenly places within the Bhumandala. And there is a milk ocean within the Bhumandala. We know that the milk ocean was once upon a time churned by the demons and demigods, and that's where the nectar came from. So this mountain was surrounded by the milk ocean, and the waves of milk, they were always touching the foot of this mountain, thereby producing emeralds in all 8 directions. This is the description of Trikuta mountain. So in this on this Trikuta mountain, there are caves, so many caves. So on Govardhan Hill, on Mount Govardhan, there were caves. Kandara, Krishna, Balaram, and his friends, they used to play hide and seek. And when the weather was very hot, they used to rest in the caves, etc. So here, that is on Govardhan. Don't get confused. We are talking about the Trikuta. So it caves are full of denizens of heavenly planets who sport there. So the demigods, they come and there's sporting place. Everybody like to enjoy sports. Everybody like to have fun. So this is their sporting place, heavenly uh, denizens. And so yeah, the lions used to roar with pride and envy. When you roar, there is an echo. Lion was thinking that there is another lion roaring. So, yeah, they used to roar with pride. The valleys on this mountain filled with a lot of jungle animals, gardens, and sweet chirping birds. It has lakes on the mountain, it is surrounded by the Milk Ocean at the bottom. But on the mountain itself, there are caves, there are gardens, and there are lakes and rivers with crystal clear sweet water. Heavenly damsels, they used to bathe in these uh, lakes and rivers. Um, and because their body itself very fragrant, when they take when they sport in these waters, the water gets that used to get that fragrance of the bodies of these denizens of heaven. And on this mountain, there is a garden called Rutmat. Rutmat. So this garden belongs to the Rutmat. Rutmat garden belongs to a great devotee called Varundev. Varuna is the presiding deity of water. Varundev. And this garden was the sporting place for all the demigods, and it has various types of flowers and fruit-bearing trees, such as mandhara, hibiscus, parijatas, champakas, panasas, date trees, coconut trees, bananas, and so on, full of flower bearing and fruit bearing trees. Very pleasant to look at it. And in that Ritmat garden, there was also a lake. There was a lake. There was garden. And there was a lake. As I said, there are several lakes and rivers on this one. And this particular lake filled with flowers like lotuses, kumudha, utpala, and so on. Bees drank their honey and hummed with the chirping of birds. So these flowers contained nectar, honey. So the honey bees used to drink the honey, and they get intoxicated, and 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 hummed with chirping birds. And there were in this lake there were birds like swans, chakravakas, cranes, karandavas, etc. In this lake, there are lotuses, as I mentioned, several places. Description of this particular lake. Because of the movements of the fish and tortoises, the water was decorated with pollen of the lotuses. And the banks are filled with beautiful trees like Kadamba, Vetasa, Nalasa, Nipas, etc. So this is the description of the lake in the Ritmat garden. So initially we discuss the beauty of Trikuta mountain. It's surrounded by the Milk Ocean, and it has three main peaks, three principal peaks made up of iron, silver, and gold, and that beautify in all directions in the sky. There are also other peaks which contain jewels, minerals, trees, nice creepers, shrubs, and waterfalls, etc. And its length and breadth and width is 80,000 miles. And it has several lakes, several caves, um, and several caves, several lakes and rivers. and waterfalls, of course. And the demigods used to come and sport in this area. And especially, there is a place called Ritumat Garden, which belongs to Varun Varuna. So in this is the favorite spot, hmm, sporting spot of all the demigods. And there was a lake there. Within that, so the lake was also described the beauty of lake, which contained a lot of lotuses and other flowers. And there were birds such as swans, cranes, chakravakas, etc. And um, yeah, so on the bank, it has got several beautiful trees. huh? This is the description of the lake within lake in the Rithmat Garden. Hmm. So, and now our hero makes entry. In cinemas, when the hero makes entry, he doesn't make in a simple way, right? You understand? He makes in a you know powerful way, and where is greatness, strength is exhibited, or beauty is exhibited, talents are exhibited. So similarly, now our hero, mm, is Gajendra. Gaja means elephant, Indra means king. King of the elephants is Gajendra. That is the meaning of Gajendra. So there were several animals, mm, on this mountain valleys, and so our hero is Gajendra, mm, the king of the elephants. He makes the entry. Let's see, our Shukadev Goswami, how does he describe this Gajendra's entry? So, who would like to read now? From 20 till 26. Purna Mataji,
Hare Krishna, Prabhuji.
Haribol. 20 till 26. So, nice entry by our Gajendra hero.
Sure, Prabhuji, thank you. The leader of the elephants, who lived in the forest of the mountain Trikut, once wandered toward the lake with his female elephants. He broke many plants, creepers, thickets, and trees, not caring for the piercing thorns. Simply by catching scent of that elephant, all the other elephants, the tigers, and the other ferocious animals such as lions, rhinoceroses, great serpents, and black and white sarabhas fled in fear. The chamari deer also fled. Text 22. By the mercy of this elephant, animals like the foxes, wolves, buffaloes, bears, boars, gopuchas, porcupines, monkeys, rabbits, the other deer, and many other small animals loitered elsewhere in the forest. They were not afraid of him. Text 23 to 24. Surrounded by the herds other elephants, including females, and followed by the young ones, Gajapati, the leader of the elephants, made Trikut mountain tremble all around because of the weight of his body. He was perspiring, liquor dripped from his mouth, and his vision was overwhelmed by intoxication. He was being served by bumblebees who drank honey, and from a distance he could smell the dust of the lotus flowers, which was carried from the lake by the breeze. Thus surrounded by his associates, who were afflicted by thirst, he soon arrived at the bank of the lake. Text 25. The king of the elephants entered the lake, bathed thoroughly, and was relieved of his fatigue. Then, with the aid of his trunk, he drank the cold, clear nectarian water, which was mixed with the dust of lotus flowers and water lilies, until he was fully satisfied. Text 26. Like a human being who lacks spiritual knowledge and is too attached to the members of his family, the elephant, being illusioned by the external energy of Krishna, had his wives and children bathe and drink the water. Indeed, he raised water from the lake with his trunk and sprayed it over them. He did not mind the hard labor involved in this endeavor.
Thank you very much, Mataji.
Uh,
So, um, Gajapati, yes, the leader of all the elephants. He was so powerful and heavy that, the mountain used to be trembled, right? Yeah. So when he walks, you would tremble the mountain. That's how powerful our Gajendra was. And simply while walking, wandering here and there with his female elephants, not caring for anything, used to break many. Have you ever seen, like, you can check in YouTube, just, it's nothing for them to, uproot a big tree. Nothing, it's just like nothing. It uprooted many trees and, creepers, etc., not caring for piercing thorns, etc. So power, just imagine the power and unparalleled enjoyment. Mm. And further, it is mentioned, even the lions, rhinoceros, great serpents fled in fear. The elephant, emanates a particular scent, our king of elephants. Just by smelling that scent, they used to fled in fear. These big animals, lions, rhinoceros, etc. See the power. And whereas the other animals, such as foxes, wolves, and buffaloes, bears, boars, and other monkeys, rabbits, other deer, small animals, they loitered elsewhere in the forest. Hmm? They were not afraid of him because Gajendra was merciful to these animals. By the mercy of this elephant, it's been mentioned. Means, it was not Gajendra used to leave them alone. Small animals, no problem. Let them enjoy. Let them move around. Hmm? Um, so the big animals used to flat in fear. The small animals, out of mercy, they were moving here and there. That is the power of this elephant Gajendra. Hmm? Um, and yeah, so so it was surrounded by female elephants, young ones. Yeah. So made Trikuta mountain tremble because of its heavy weight. And it is also mentioned that he was perspiring and liquor dripped from his mouth. Anybody would like to comment how the liquor, because it was eating all the things, and the liquor used to be dripping from his mouth. Hmm? And thirst, surrounded by his associates who were afflicted by thirst. After eating a lot, what you need to do, you need to drink. So then they could, smell a nice fragrance of the lotuses that are, that are there in the lake. They all came in that big group headed by Gajapati. They all came to the bank of lake. And nicely, the king of elephant, bathed thoroughly and was, relieved of his fatigue. Uh, and with the aid of trunk, he drank the nice, cold, crystal clear nectarian water which was actually mixed with the dust of lotus flowers and lilies, until he was fully satisfied. He drank the water. After drinking, then it is mentioned. So he simply, what did he do? Uh, yeah, so now it just took the water with his trunks uh, and bathed, um, its companions, raising the water from with his trunks and sprayed it over them. And there was a hard labor involved. It did not um, mind doing that hard labor. Mm. Mm. So, yeah. So here, Shukadeva Goswami compares this like a human being who lacks a spiritual knowledge, just for without spiritual knowledge, the family member works very hard and use every penny for their sense gratification and the sense gratification of their family members. Whereas devotee makes the money, of course, use it in the service of Krishna. So similarly here, the Gajapati, elephant Gajendra, really, really, worked very hard, taking that water from the lake, from with his trunk, and sprayed it over his friends and other family members. Hmm? So this is how, so far, it's a nice, unparalleled enjoyment. No competition, nothing. Powerful. He was the leader. Mm. And now there is unexpected calamity. This is what happens in this material world. Even though, however powerful we are, however comfortable we are, there will be a calamity in this material world. Mamupetya punarjanma dukkhalayam ashashvatam napnuvanti mahatmanaha samsiddhim paramangataha. Hmm? So Krishna describes this material world to be a dukkhalayam, place of misery. Shashvatam, whatever you have is temporary. Hmm? So now Shukadeva Goswami describes an unexpected calamity. This was not expected. Hmm? Although King of Elephant having unparalleled enjoyment, now there is an unexpected calamity in his life. Hmm? And so we will read that bit now. So if you're in a position to read, please raise your hand. 27 till 23. This is a short chapter. Okay, if nobody can do, I can read and explain. Yes. Okay. Arya, you want to read?
Yeah, sure.
Okay, sure. Go on then. Little slowly.
By the arrangement of Providence, O king, a strong crocodile was angry at the elephant and attacked the elephant's leg in the water. The elephant was certainly strong, and he tried his best to get free from this danger sent by Providence. Thereafter, seeing Gajendra in that grave condition, his wives felt very, very sorry and began to cry. The other elephants wanted to help Gajendra, but because of the crocodile's great strength, they could not rescue him by grasping him from behind. O king, the elephant and the crocodile fought in this way, pulling one another in and out of the water for 1,000 years. Upon seeing the fight, the demigods were very surprised. Thereafter, being Because of being pulled into the water and fighting for many long years, the elephant became diminished in his mental, physical, and sensual strength. The crocodile, on the contrary, being an animal of the water, increased in enthusiasm, physical strength, and sensual power. When the king of the elephants saw that he was under the clutches of the crocodile by the will of Providence, and being embodied and circumstantially helpless, could not save himself from danger, he was extremely afraid of being killed. He consequently thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. The other elephants, who are my friends and relatives, could not rescue me from this danger. What then to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything. It is by the will of Providence that I have been attacked by this crocodile. And therefore I shall seek shelter of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, who is always the shelter of everyone, even of great personalities. The Supreme Personality of Godhead is certainly not known to everyone, but he is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chases everyone ready to swallow him, if one who fears this serpent seeks shelter of the Lord gives him protection, for even death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful Supreme Authority, who is the actual shelter of everyone.
Thank you very much, Arya. Okay, so calamity. Yeah, so unexpected attack. So there was a strong crocodile that became angry because our Gajapati Gajendra was simply playing and causing some disturbing to the aquatics. Uh, so crocodile, bit his leg and caught hold of Gajendra, um, and he tried to, his best to get free from this danger sent by the providence. Hmm? This is unexpected. That's why it's by providence. Hmm? So this is an unexpected attack, and he was in an helpless state. No friend, none of his friends and family members, wives. They were seeing the situation, but were unable to help him at all. Uh, um, um, Actually, they were very distressed and crying. This is also the situation in the material world. When there is a danger, nobody can help. Mm. Um, there are situations. In some situations, some people may be able to help and assist us. But in, say for example, nobody can save us from death. There is, death is always there. Mm. And so they wanted to help, but they could not rescue him. Mm. And the fight continued between Gajendra and the crocodile for 1,000 years. Uh, Even the demigods were surprised seeing the fight. Um, and as the time progressing, our Gajendra was losing strength, and crocodile was gaining the strength because crocodile being a water animal, so it actually gained strength being in the water. Gajendra's that's not the plate. If it was on the ground, this situation would have been different. Uh, uh, but because uh, water is crocodile's home, uh, basically, so crocodile was becoming stronger. Elephant was or Gajendra was losing the strength. Hmm? Um, so, um, yeah, So what Prabhupada says in this connection, say, for example, he just gives one comparison. So if you are, if you are not able to practice bhakti as a brahmachari, as a vanaprastha, then, practice bhakti in grihastha in a different place where you are comfortable and, you are able to practice bhakti. So, um, yeah, it is said in the Bhagavad Gita, there are four kinds of people, pious people. They turn towards Krishna. What were these four kind of people? Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukruti no arjuna artho jignasu artarthi gnani cha baradarshapa. Artho, distress, artarthi, uh, uh, desire of wealth, and then artharthi gnani, to jignasi, means inquisitive, and seeker, the one who is seeking the knowledge. Distressed, desire of wealth, inquisitive, and the seeker of knowledge. If they are pious, they turn towards Krishna. So here, our Gajendra, he put his effort. He tried his level best to counteract the situation. But at the end, as he was losing strength, um, he came to this beautiful conclusion. So the conclusion is this. So let me read this. So he says that he was under the clutches of crocodile by the will of providence, and being unburdened and circumstantially helpless, could not save himself from danger. He was extremely afraid of being killed. He consequently thought for a long time and finally reached the following decision. Yeah. So he came to following decision. What is the decision? This is the decision. Said, all my relatives and friends could not rescue me from this danger. What to speak of my wives? They cannot do anything to save me. So I shall seek the shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is always shelter of everyone, including the great. This is an intelligent conclusion. So he got this wonderful idea. So he thought that he would be killed by this crocodile. Then, nobody can save me. Let me take shelter of Param Parayanam, who is the shelter of even the great people. Lord Brahma, Lord Shiva, other demigods also take shelter of the Supreme Lord. No name was mentioned here for your information. He just thought, let me pray to the Supreme Lord, who is the shelter of everyone. This was the thought that he had. He didn't say Shiva, Brahma, Vishnu. He didn't say. He thought of the Supreme Lord, who is the shelter of everyone. So Prabhupada writes, this material world is described as a padam padam yat vipadham. In this material world, there is a danger at every step, every moment. And the material world is not an happy place. Um, um, we may invent so many ways to be happy to counteract the dangers of this material world. But unless our attempts are sanctioned by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, they will never make us happy. Those who try to be happy without taking shelter of the Supreme Lord, are mudhas or rascals. Namam dushkritino muda prapadyanti naradama. Huh? Uh, so this is their mistake. The decision of King of Elephants, Gajendra, was correct. In such dangerous position, he sought shelter of Supreme Personality of Godhead. So when there is a reversal, challenge, turning towards Krishna is very important. And we see that, we see this in the lives of all great acharyas. Even Prabhupada, he had 2 heart attacks on the way, uh, on the ship Jaladuta, and he had a third one after reaching United States. But in every situation, dangerous situation, Prabhupada was always depending on Krishna. So, and you see, like Narada Muni in the previous life, son of maid servant, as son of maid servant, when his mother died when he was only 5 year old. And she was the only shelter for him that time. He just simply took shelter of the Lord. That little boy, son of maid servant. So these tells us, it's Prabhupada says this. This is intelligent decision. This is an intelligent. It came to intelligent decision that let me take shelter of the Supreme Lord, who is the shelter of everyone. So, and after seeing this, and there is this final verse. Let me recite this. यः कश्चनेशो बलिनन्तको रगात् प्रचण्डवेगात् अभिधावतो वृषम् भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाति यद्भायन् भीतं प्रपन्नं परिपाति यद्भयान् मृत्यो प्रधावत्यरणं तमिमाहि. So here Gajendra says this, and he is not known to everyone, but is very powerful and influential. Therefore, although the serpent of eternal time, which is fearful in force, endlessly chases everyone, ready to swallow him. So the eternal time, we are also in the clutches of, in the jaws of crocodile. Can anybody tell how we are in the jaws of crocodile? Everyone is in the jaws of crocodile. Can anybody tell?
As we are in the clutches of Maya.
Not only Maya, the eternal times, Ayuru Harati Vaipumsam. Udayam Mastam Chayannasau. So the eternal time is stealing away our life, na? Our duration of life is being reduced. The eternal time, we are in the jaws of that eternal time. And so this will not, spare anyone. The eternal time represents the crocodile. Crocodile represents the eternal time. So we are like that Gajendra. But we are not seeking, following the footsteps of Gajendra, we should also seek the shelter of the Supreme Lord. We are also in the jaws of the crocodile of eternal time. It is mentioned, serpent of eternal time. Um, and so, and it is said here, Lord gives him protection when you surrender, and for even death runs away in fear of the Lord. I therefore surrender unto him, the great and powerful supreme authority, who is actually shelter of everyone. Who is actually shelter of everyone. So here there is a little purport. So mrityu sarva haraschaham, mrityu in the form of death, he steals away everything. Death is Lord's representation that takes away everything from the embodied life. Everyone is caught by the crocodile of time and may die at any moment. But one who seeks Krishna's shelter can be saved from death. One may question, does the devotee does not die? Devotees also must give up their bodies, but by dint of their surrender to Krishna, who always protect them, they will not again receive a material body. Their present birth is the last. The best course, therefore, is to seek shelter of Krishna and be saved from the cycle of repeated birth and death. To reach this understanding is the ultimate goal of life. So, for a devotee, death, Prabhupada explains, the kitten and the mouse in the mouth of a cat. So the cat carries the kitten in the mouth, but the kitten doesn't feel so much pain, or kitten feels the shelter in the jaw, in the mouth of cat, whereas the mouse feels death and be terrified in the mouth of a cat. Similarly, that is the difference between a devotee and a materialist. So when we take shelter of the Lord, so then we also feel shelter, just like that kitten feels shelter in the mouth of, in the jaws of a cat. Similarly, we also feel. And crocodile, our Gajendra came to this conclusion because this Gajendra was pious. We know that later it comes that Gajendra in the past life, he was a devotee named Indradumna. And being cursed by Agatsya Muni, I think, he became Gajendra. Elephant, he received a body of an elephant. But in this situation, he was, able to surrender to the lotus feet of Lord Krishna, Supreme Lord. Whatever we do will never go in vain. Neha Vikramanashosti Pratyavayuna Vidyate Swalpam Apyasya Dharmasya Trayate Mahato Bhayat. In this endeavor, there is no loss or diminution. Even a small advancement on this path will save one from greatest type of fear, that is losing of human form. So he had done bhakti in the past life. Now he is able to surrender to the lotus feet of Krishna. And Ajamil also, in the beginning, he was very pious, and he got distracted. But at the end, he was able to utter the name of Narayana. Hmm. But even after uttering the name of Narayana, he was given second chance to practice. He practiced bhakti yoga, devotional service, for several years. Yeah, so like this, nothing will go in vain. Everything will, be useful. So this is how this chapter ends. So to sum up, this simple chapter sum up, initially there is a description of the beauty of Trikuta mountain, which is surrounded by the Milk Ocean. It had three principal peaks made up of iron, silver, gold. There were other peaks also. And the length and breadth and height of this mountain is 80,000 miles each, length, breadth, and width. And on this mountain, there were several caves. Demigods used to come and sport on this place. And there were several waterfalls, lakes, gardens, and especially there was a garden called Rutmat Garden, and this was the sporting place for the demigods. It belongs to Varun Dev. And there was a wonderful lake there, containing a fragrance, nectarian, sweet water. The damsels used to bathe in this river, in this lake, and that's how the water used to become even more nectarian. So Gajendra was also living with his family members on this Trikuta mountain. And when he walks, he made the mountain tremble. That's how heavy and powerful he was. And this, big animals, tigers, lions, and rhinoceros, they used to fled in fear of this elephant, Gajendra. Very, very powerful. And small animals, they used to flee, and they were not so much afraid, but they were staying away by the mercy of Gajendra. And he was not caring, and uh, uh, breaking so many things and uprooting several trees on this mountain, and very, very powerful, and unparalleled enjoyment. And But however, yeah, he felt hungry after eating. They all felt thirsty. Then they came to this particular lake, drank the water to full satisfaction. And Gajendra, with his trunk, he sprayed the water on his family members. It was a hard labor, but he did not mind. As he was disturbing the aquatics, the crocodile within the lake attacked the leg of elephant Gajendra. And so Gajendra tried his level best to save himself and come out, but he could not. And none of his family members, friends, and wives, no one could rescue him at all. Um, so it happened within the water. So because within the water, the crocodile gained the strength, and elephant Gajendra actually losing uh, the strength and getting weaker day by day. They fought for 1,000 years. Even the demigods actually got surprised to see this battle. And then Gajendra came to this conclusion. Okay, I'm going to be killed. Then what do I do now? Nobody is going to save me. Nobody is saving. So the only shelter of everyone is the Supreme Lord. He is the shelter. So let me take shelter of him, and by taking shelter of him, one can actually even the death can also uh, run away, or the mrityu or the death will be feared by the Lord. Um, so this is how the elephant decided to take shelter of the Supreme Lord. Not mentioned any name here. That is an important factor. That's why nobody came. Shiva did not come, Durga did not come, Brahma, Indra, nobody came. Only Lord Hari came, because he is the shelter of everyone. So that is another important point that we remembered. So in the next chapter, next week, we will discuss the prayers offered by Gajendra. What kind of prayers? Even in the body of an elephant, you can offer prayers. See, not only in the human form, but in another form also, you will continue your devotion. That's why devotion is never lost. Hmm? Uh, so the body is external, but devotional is there with us eternally. So in the old age, Jamil practiced as a young boy. Dhruva and Prahlad practiced. Here, Gajendra is also practicing. Hmm? Okay, Srila Prabhupada ki guys. So thank you very much. Anybody has anything? I think this is a straightforward chapter to say. Yes, Arya Devi.
You know how it said that Gajendra was intoxicated because this is on the heavenly planets. Is that with like Somarasa, like something that doesn't cloud
Uh,
your intelligence?
yeah, it's definitely, it's not so. Somras comes out only when they perform yajna. Somra is also available. I think he was eating the fruits and flowers that contained, they intoxicated. That's how I thought.
Oh, okay. Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Okay, Hare Krishna, Srila Prabhupada ki jai, Gandhara Srimad Bhagavatam ki jai, Elephant Gajendra ki jai, Nitai Gaura Premanandi. Hari Hari Bol.
Hare
Hare
Bol.
Krishna.
Hare
Thank
Krishna.
you.
Thank you,
Hare
Prabhuji.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Hare Krishna. Hare Bol.